Nobody is coming to save you. Not today, not tomorrow, not when you finally feel ready. If you keep waiting for someone to hand you the life you want, you will die waiting. The Stoics knew this. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all built strength in the harshest conditions: exile, slavery, betrayal, war. And they understood a truth most people still run from. Your freedom begins the moment you stop scattering your energy outward and start directing it inward. The life you dream of isn't out there in someone else's hands. It's already in yours if you dare to focus. But miss what comes next, and distraction will quietly bury you alive. The harsh truth. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many dreams have you delayed waiting for permission? Epictetus warned, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. He didn't say, wait until the conditions are perfect. He didn't say, wait until you feel confident. He said, decide and act. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Every day you postpone action is a day lost forever. Not lost all at once. Lost silently, creeping into regret, showing up as restlessness at night, that quiet whisper that you've betrayed yourself again. If you ignore this, you'll spend your whole life drifting, alive, but never living. Seneca hammered this truth in On the Shortness of Life. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. You think you need more years. What you really need is fewer leaks. Time is your most sacred possession, yet you trade it away for noise, for approval, for distraction. And here's the hardest truth. Nobody is coming to give you your future. If you don't take it, no one will. Distraction versus focus. You already know how easy it is to lose hours scrolling, comparing, consuming things that add nothing. You tell yourself it's harmless. It isn't. It is theft. Seneca again. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Every time you scatter your attention, you scatter your life. Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Your habits are either compounding for you or against you. Every scroll, every wasted hour is practice. You're either practicing distraction or you're practicing mastery. Ignore this shift and you'll die with potential unspent. Marcus Aurelius called the mind sacred. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. But what happens when your thoughts are consumed by noise? When every notification, every headline, every opinion owns your mind, you surrender your throne. Plato said, the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Guarding your focus is how you win that battle. Because if you don't master your attention, someone else will. Imagine what would happen if you reclaimed even half the energy you waste. Replace comparison with action. Replace distraction with discipline. Your focus would begin to compound like interest, quietly at first, then powerfully. And just as money compounds into wealth, your focus compounds into strength, knowledge, and character. But most people never see it, because they quit before the interest matures. Failure, setbacks, and resilience. Here's where most people fall. They wait, they delay, and when they finally act, they stumble, and they stop. But the Stoics knew failure isn't your enemy, it's your forge. Carl Jung wrote, the greatest and most important problems of life can never be solved. They can only be outgrown. Failure is not a wall. It's a teacher, a mirror, a fire that tempers steel. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Setbacks aren't signs you should stop. They are signals you're in the arena. Every failure is proof you dared to step forward. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Yet most people run from difficulty, thinking it means they're weak. But it's the opposite. Every difficulty is the gym where your soul is trained. Ignore this mindset, and the first storm will collapse you. The Stoics didn't pray for ease. They trained for resistance. They built themselves into people who could endure. That's what made them unshakable. The win. So what happens when you focus relentlessly on yourself? Until you win, something changes. Your confidence stops depending on applause. Your relationships grow stronger because you no longer need validation. Your health improves because you stop treating it as punishment and start treating it as respect. Your vision sharpens because distraction no longer clouds it. But the greatest prize isn't external, it's internal. It's self-trust. When you say you'll do something and you follow through, you prove to yourself you can rely on you. That is power. That is freedom. That is wealth no one can steal. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Approval is a prison. Authenticity is freedom. The moment you stop scattering your energy outward, stop bending for approval, stop waiting for permission, you become untouchable. Ignore this, and you'll waste your life trying to please people who can't even save themselves. The Stoics understood. The true prize is not money, recognition, or status. The true prize is becoming someone you yourself can rely on. That's the essence of focus. It compounds. It builds you brick by brick. It transforms you into someone unshakable. So here it is. Stop waiting. Cut distraction. Embrace failure. Build self-trust. Focus on you until you win. Because the life you dream of isn't out there. It's already in your hands. The question is, will you keep scattering your energy? Or will you finally commit to yourself? Which Stoic truth that hit you hardest today? Drop the number in the comments and let's see who's ready to win.